Hi, it's Kiffin Lebates here, and if as a school pupil like me you were made to read Lord of the Flies by William Golding, you may remember that in that book, and it is a very good book by the way if I remember correctly, in the book there was a seashell that featured. It was called the conch, and I had to go and look it up in the dictionary, and a conch is a kind of seashell. And in the book the group of boys who are stranded on the island find this beautiful shell and decide to give it some extra meaning and some extra value. They decide that the conch is something that when held by a person during a meeting gives that person the right to speak, so everybody else has to be quiet. And if you want to speak, you have to get the speaker to hand the conch to you, so that gives you the opportunity to talk instead. Now, of course, there's nothing enforcing these rules other than the society as a whole. And indeed, in the book, the structure or the system of the conch breaks down, and in fact at the end, if I remember correctly, even the shell itself is broken. However, it's a nice example of how human beings are able to imbue a physical object with some extra meaning and value beyond what it has in itself. A shell is an attractive item to behold, and it's a good protective system for the sea creature that lives in it. But there's nothing about a seashell that means that it can enforce people to not talk over each other. It's society using it as a symbol of the desire for that kind of debating structure to come into existence. And so I think the conch in Lord of the Flies is a nice analogy for some of the uses that NFTs in the blockchain world can be put to. And what's more, blockchain NFTs have a greater ability to allow rules to be enforced than a seashell on a tropical island does, because you can actually code rules into a system that uses the NFT that, for example, only allows people who are holding that NFT to post a post onto a bulletin board. Now, these things can still be subverted, but it gets harder to subvert them. In the same way that a voting system is all very well, however, we've discovered over time that in voting systems you also need to have auditors, you need to have vote counters and supervisors, and you need to have a group of people to supervise what is going on to make sure that voter fraud is minimized. And indeed, that is actually what a blockchain does. By making the records public and by involving a lot of different people in overseeing that the transactions that are being included are indeed valid and legitimate, you reduce the opportunity for fraudulent transactions to a much higher level, as it happens, than in our traditional accounting systems. So anyway, I thought that was a kind of interesting observation. I hope you thought so too, and I'll see you all in the next video soon. Bye for now.